Welcome to the PR Bunker podcast, where we talk with founders, builders, and operators who are actually out there doing the work. In this episode, Don Martelli sits down with Elijah Khasabo, co-founder of Vidovo, a fast-growing user-generated content platform reshaping how brands work with creators. Elijah shares how he went from launching early ventures in high school to building a real software company while still in college. He gets honest about the early struggles, the risk, and the mindset it takes to keep going when there are no guarantees. This conversation is about more than startups. It's about momentum, resilience, and why nearly every breakthrough Elijah's had came from relationships built over time, not overnight wins. And now, here's your host, Don Martelli.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining the PR Bunker podcast. I'm stoked for today's conversation. So I meet a lot of people in my business through networking events online and so on and so forth. And it's usually folks that are my peer base. And from time to time, I'll meet younger folks that are looking to get into the business, asking me about networking and make some connections. Rarely do I meet somebody who's in college, who's already started a business that's hit already $1 million in revenue. And my guest today is Elijah Khasabo, young, bright, brilliant young man who every single day when I talk to this guy, I question what the hell I was doing in my 20s. Elijah, it is an honor, and I'm so excited to have you here today, man.
Don, it's a pleasure for you to bring me on. I'm excited.
No, look, you are like my poster child for like, this is the stuff you should be doing when you're in your 20s. But before we get into that, like, tell people your story. Who are you? Where are you from? What are you doing in your life right now? Let's get into it.
Yeah, of course. As Don introduced, my name's Elijah. I've been doing entrepreneurship since pretty much high school. Started my first venture during COVID, actually, where I saw my mom's phone. She was trading stocks one day, and I was like, I'm pretty interested in this stuff. I ended up not doing anything with it. And then 6 months later, I'm like, you know what? Let me just try it. And I started trading stocks, started making a little bit of money off of that. And then I realized, the purpose of a job, the purpose of life was, the purpose of college was always to get a job. But why do you get a job is to make money, right? So I was like, why don't I just skip that middle part and figure out how do I make money? And I started like a little stock and crypto Discord server, one of the biggest in 2021 with over 30,000 people. And I grew it all through TikTok and Instagram organic marketing. So through affiliates and all that type of stuff. So I've been in like the weaves of social since 21, I would say. I was still in high school, so I was still finishing it out. That Discord ended up pretty much dying out my senior year. And I was just kind of sitting on cash and having fun with it until graduation came. And I was like one of the only kids that didn't want to go to college. So I tried looking for a job, didn't really have success with that. I probably applied to like over 80 jobs, got a couple of interviews. And I'll never forget on the last interview, the guy was questioning why I was looking for a job if I built something in high school already. And this was the last question, right? It was a door-to-door sales gig. I was probably going to get the job. And I'll never forget, I emailed him the next day and I was like, hey, I won't be taking this job. Because what it reminded me is like, I feel like I am a builder. I'm a creator. And when you're young, you have absolutely nothing to lose. So it's like, why not shoot your shot, right? So I tried so many things. Nothing was kind of working. And I was like, damn, maybe I got a little bit lucky with that Discord. And then I came across UGC and I thought it was the most interesting concept ever. To the point where I was like,
for those that don't know what UGC is, what is UGC?
So UGC is user-generated content. In the simplest terms, it's basically a user, right? So a person, an individual, or mainly known as a creator nowadays that creates content for a brand, right? So you're basically creating content. That content is being run on meta ads or it's being pushed on organic social, but it's just a user literally generating content, right? So I came across this concept in 22, right? And I was like, I'll never forget, I spoke to a UGC creator. He's like, hey, just pay me up front. You get the video. I was like, I'm not doing that, right? Because I come from affiliate. Like I pay people based off what you generate us. And I'll never forget, I just ended up paying him. We went back and forth forever. I was like, here, just take the $50, whatever, right? And I posted the video and the video got 14 million views. I actually checked the other day. It was 15.7 million because I've been trying to find the exact number of the views. And I found it 2 weeks ago. And I was like, this is so cool. Like I have to figure out like, how can I get into this business? I wanted to go in with a partner actually. It just didn't end up working out because I didn't think I was capable of doing it myself. I ended up going in with a partner for my agency side. And it ended up falling through. Like I pretty much got ghosted. I was like, oh shit. So I'm here with like 12 creators who I was supposed to be the back end guy, right? And the other partner was supposed to be the face, which is funny because now it's the opposite with Vidovo, right? But I'll get into that in a little bit. And I'll never forget, I sent a text to the group chat like, "Hey guys, it's just gonna be me moving forward. If you want to leave, I totally understand." Right? It was a bunch of like influencers, like in their 20s, right, that joined because this girl was like recruiting them to join. And three of them left, which respectfully so, that's okay, right? But the other nine stayed with me, and I just started doing my best to get them deals. I was selling videos for like $15, $20, $40, like
Mm,
everything, everything pretty much cheap.
wow.
Where now it's pretty criminal to sell for that low. But that's how I got into the industry. That's how I started. I started off with it like literally like a solo agency with some creators, and then I
Hmm.
scaled into what is now Vidovo with my co-founder.
Excellent. So, how long has Vidovo been around?
So we launched in July of 23. We
Yep.
soft launched then.
Okay. Of
The first 6 months was kind of brutal. Like we were pretty
course.
much burning cash. Like we were making absolutely
Eh,
no money. I think we made 10 grand across the first 6 months, which honestly in SaaS is not awful, but especially at that time. But we were still burning cash. We were like we were literally negative. And I'll never forget, at times I was contemplating quitting. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
this thing's not gonna work. Like, this is ridiculous because software is just so different from agency. But like we made like my agency made money within 2 months, right? Like we were it was profitable, we were making money. It just wasn't scalable. Software is like the opposite. It took so long to actually start making money. But in the beginning days, it was just brutal. But we persevered, we went through.
Love that.
At month 6, I'll never forget, I pitched one of our products that wasn't out yet
Hmm.
to a customer or a prospective customer at the time, and she loved it. She was like, "I want to sign on right now." And I
Wow.
ended up telling her, I'm like, "Hey, it's actually not ready. I only pitched this because the other product that we had out, no one was signing on to it. Everyone kept saying no. So I was like, why not shoot my shot at something new?" She signed on 2 days later when we finished it.
Awesome.
Got her content 4 days later, and she was one of our first ever customers, and
Awesome.
that's when we found product market fit.
Very cool. So, how would you describe the platform? So, is it both for creators and brands? So,
Yeah,
describe the
I mean, yeah,
engagement. How's it work?
it's both for creators and brands. We've probably worked with over 200 brands now. We are about to cross 20,000 creators. I know when I
Wow.
first met you, we probably had like 3 or 4,000 creators.
Yeah.
We've grown pretty fast. I would say, creators come, they get to work with, their favorite brands, they get paid, right, which is great. And that
Hmm.
average rate on our platform is scaling up, right? Especially since we're, still launching with bigger brands now, they have the budgets to pay. I'll never forget in 23, our average video rate was like 150. Now we're seeing like north of 250. And we're seeing some videos, just UGC, not even an influencer, go up to like $1,000, right? So it
Wow.
really just, comes down to the creator. And obviously brands can come and meet, creators. It's funny because we were able to bootstrap, we built for the creator first. Most platforms build for the brand first because they have to follow those KPIs. We did the opposite. And I think when you build for the creator first, and build such a great experience for them, you're indirectly building for their brand to the point
Mm,
where like, why would a brand want to leave? I mean, our churn is down to almost less than 10%. It's really good right now. And I think we're doing a good job on that end.
excellent. So, I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
22 as of
22
September.
years old. Okay, and I believe you're in college, correct?
Yeah, I graduated in May of this year.
How big is congratulations, one. So, what are you getting your degree in?
Marketing. Yeah,
Of
marketing.
course, of course, of course. I wouldn't expect anything less. Clearly, you already have a job when you graduate. And your company has scaled. And when you and I first met to today, it's scaled significantly, right? And I could just see the growth of it, which is fantastic. And I love the need that you feel between content creators and brands because as somebody in public relations and communications, I did influencer outreach years ago, 10 plus years ago, and it was a manual, kind
Yeah.
of difficult, brutal process. And so the ease to which you've allowed people to create relationships from a creators and the brand perspective is fantastic. I mean, what's what's the scale of this business look like for you? After graduation, by the way, I want you to walk across and get your diploma and you do the college thing. What scale for the business look like?
I mean, for us, my mindset's always on growth, growth,
Uh-huh.
growth. That's just
Mhm.
what I always think about. Um, funny enough, we're 16 days into the year, and have probably been the best 16 days of Vadovo. It's like every day just gets better and better. To the point where like I think it was 2 days ago, I was sitting there and I was thinking, I'm like, we just hired somebody. And I
Mm.
feel like we have to hire again. Like, is
Wow.
that really what it is to start scaling? Right? Are we officially entering scale mode? But I think for us, we launched our managed services back in the fall, and that's been very hot. I mean, the close rate is insanely high on that. I think I've been doing a good job talking to some customers on it. And people have been super happy, right? So the goal is to keep people happy. And you can't keep everyone happy. Like we have turned some people. I try to
Of
collect
course.
feedback and we want to build and grow off of that.
Hmm.
We are one of the freshest and newest platforms in our vertical, right? I think we're just entering year 3. Most platforms have at least 3-4 years on us. I think, if we want to compete, we just got to continue to build correctly. And by doing that, it's just having my mindset focused on growth. There will definitely be a lot more people on the team this year. I do imagine that because I'm already planning out like what jobs that we have to put out within the next couple of weeks. But I think just to continue to grow, continue to grow. I love what I do. I obviously I'm going to do this after college.
That was going to be my
Yeah,
question. Like, what drives you? Why do you love it? What fuels you to get up in the morning when most 20-something-year-olds are thinking about their latte and going to the gym and everything else? And not that, I'm overly stating that most 20-year-olds are lazy. However, it's through my lens. Like I was not as driven and focused. Where did that spark come from?
you know, I got to give a lot of credit to my parents. My mother's probably one of the hardest workers I know, right? My dad's also a great hard worker. But yeah, I live with my mom right now. I've
Hmm.
seen her work so hard for us and she's done a lot for us. So I mean, I think I get, my drive from my parents.
Love that.
And I
Shout
think
out, mom.
yeah,
Shout out, mom.
I think all of my other brothers do as well because they're both
Hmm.
building as well. And I think if
Wow.
put some inspiration on them to continue to build and do great things, that's great.
Are
But
you the younger brother or the older brother?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, so you're gonna set the tone.
You gotta set the tone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Excellent. I love the attitude too. I can see it in your eyes. Like, you're always gonna beat your brothers, right? You're always gonna stay a
That's
step
I mean,
ahead.
that's the goal, right? I don't want to lose to them.
So how about this? I mean, how old are your brothers?
So one is 21, the
Hmm.
other is 20. And then I have 3 younger ones who one is 5, the other's 3, and the other's 2.
Okay. So
Yeah.
to
It's like
those younger brothers, what advice would you give them as they get into their high school years? Like, because you've learned a few things pretty quickly as a young man, but you've learned the hard way as an entrepreneur, success and failure and all that stuff. Like, what were the things that you'd wish you knew then that you know now based on your career so far?
I mean, it's interesting because by the time they're in high school, I feel like life is gonna be so different. I mean, with
Mm,
AI and everything, I just think it's gonna be so different. But
mm,
the advice I could give to someone in general that's entering high school, entering college, I mean, I really think it's just keeping your mindset on knowing you have nothing to lose. You don't have
mm,
bills, you don't have kids. I mean, you
mhm,
have minimal problems besides
mhm,
like high school drama, right? So it's like, why not just give it your all at something, build something on the side, like, put, maybe 10 hours into something. I feel like everyone at a young age, I was just talking to someone last night who's younger than me and he's crushing it, right? So it's like, I feel like everyone's capable of making a couple $1,000s on the side. I just truly believe that. I might
mhm.
be biased, but with AI and social media right now, it's like there's no excuse to it. So I would just say, stay humble, look for something to build, and have a correct mindset. And I think you can do, pretty good things.
Love it, love it. So how do you, in terms of scaling the business, what does that look like for you? What's your strategy there in terms of like building your network, and talk to me about scale? How does that happen for you?
I learned this from you. I truly, and I'm very hard on this. I think everything comes from relationships. I am a huge believer in relationship first. Most of our deals, whether I had a dinner with someone, a lunch with someone, or just a genuine conversation, it has to stem from some type of relationship, and it can't be fake. It has to be
Mm,
real,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
People like you, and you have a good enough product and a sticky product, they're gonna want to work with you. I just truly believe that. And I think scale for us is just doubling down on that. Like, I'm obviously restricted. I've never been able to run Vidovo full time because of school. I have schoolwork due in a couple of days. I had
Yeah.
schoolwork.
That must be a bummer,
Yeah.
right? But you get it done. Good for you.
And then I got my semester coming up, which might kill a little bit of momentum for the first week or two, but I'll probably get back into it headset wise. So it's like,
Nice.
when I get that free time, I think I'm gonna be a dangerous person because I think I'm gonna be out there just networking like crazy. Because there's so many trips, so many places I could be like this week, last week, the next week, a couple weeks from now, 2 months from now. But I'm just restricted because of school. But in short, I think everything comes from your network, right? I
Mm,
really truly believe everything comes from your network. The last 5 to 6 businesses we just closed all came through somebody I've either met in person, met online. Like it's come through somebody or some type of relationship or something I built years ago, right?
mhm, mhm,
And it's a long term game. It's a long term game, and if you keep things real and genuine, you'll be okay with that. If you're just fake and thinking about selling the whole time, maybe not. But
mm,
I think when it's a little bit easier for me because I don't have investor pressure, right? So I can really be myself and be genuine and take my time. And I really, I truly believe like the results are starting to pay off. I mean, I started off 2 years ago and I'm really starting to see it over the past month and a half. Results are coming in from my network. Like
Oh
at
yeah.
first I was like, man, what's going on? Like I meet all these people, they say they're going to do this and nothing's happening, but you just got to be patient. And I think good will come out of it.
Yeah. I think it's the things you do in the moments when nobody's watching that matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, my next question to you is like when you're in those moments and things are tough, as an entrepreneur, that you can those are the make or break moments. What's how do you mentally and just from a process standpoint kind of fight through those moments? And what's kind of your North Star in that regard to kind of like fight against it and just keep going? Because it's hard as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I mean, it can be tough. I mean, when we first started building, I was probably going through the toughest days of my life. Probably 2020 was probably the lowest point of my life. But I look back and I'm so thankful for those days because it's really built me into who I am. It's molded me as a character. And
Hmm.
without that, like, I mean, I'm like a brick wall. I can pretty much eat any words. I don't really get offended.
Hmm.
'Cause I still have friends that are my age, right? I try to be more of my young self around them. And it's like, I
Of course.
don't get mad. I don't really get ticked off, I think, because I've just been through so much with this business. Like entrepreneurs, like, it's like, this guy's pretty controversial, but before he was, Elon Musk said such a good quote. It's like building a business is like eating into a glass and looking into the abyss. Right? And I
Mm,
think it's so true. It's like you're eating into so much pain and like you don't even know what's next, right?
yeah. Yeah.
But I truly believe there is light at that end of the abyss, right? So it's like
Hmm.
just keep on just keep your your mindset positive, do great things. I just like to, just continue to work. Usually I find out when you're stressed, it's because something is stressing you out that you haven't done, or you're not working on something, or you're missing something. So my goal is just to get it done, right? But I've been through so much at this stage. It's like, I just kind of eat it and keep on moving. And I know there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I think when you have that mindset, you'll be okay. I'm
Love
not,
that.
when lost my first client, I started crying. It's like
Yeah.
you lose a client now. It's like, all right, well,
Yeah. You move on, right?
move on, right? So it's
Yep.
like,
Never burn a bridge, man. Because you never know when those clients could come back, and
yeah,
who knows what's going
we've
on.
had a
Yeah.
lot of clients come
Yeah.
back. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's not your fault. Sometimes it
Yeah.
is, right? And it's
Yeah.
just, if it is, you take the feedback. If it's not,
Yeah.
continue to build, right?
Got it.
So
So let me
I
ask you
think,
this:
yeah,
outside of building this wonderful platform you've created in all your free time, ironically enough, or being sarcastic here, what do you do for fun, man? When you need to decompress and just like let the world kind of swim around you, what are you doing outside of work?
I've tried to do a little bit better with this, recently. I think in 23 and 24, at least the first 6 to 7 months of 24, I was very like locked in, like in my own bubble.
Mm-hmm.
A main reason because I wasn't in college, so my social life was pretty much down.
Mm-hmm.
I only kept a couple close friends from high school,
Mm-hmm.
and I never really hung out with anybody. I thought there was good to that. I really did because when you're alone, you just learn so much about yourself.
Mm,
I think every entrepreneur, and this is just my personal bias. I don't really recommend it. I think every entrepreneur should at least like for a whole year, at least if you're young at my age, just for a whole year, just sit down and just lock in alone and just figure out who you actually are. But don't do it for too long because I think it will
mm,
break you and it will hurt. I'm
mm-hmm.
glad I didn't do it for too long because when I got to school and I met some friends, I try to hang out with them as much as possible.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Obviously, as Vidovo grows, my free time kind of lessens, so I don't really get to do much. So I really try to value my weekends when I can, but I'm working probably 12 hours a day, every single day. I think on, maybe Sunday's my least amount of work day where it's from like 4 to 8 hours, depending on the Sunday. But I'm working almost every single day. But I do try to like take at least a weekend out of the month and just
Yeah.
spend with friends and like keep my
Hang
head
out.
from
Yeah.
Vidovo, have
Well,
fun. I've been running recently too. I got into running,
yeah. I heard about that. Yeah. Good for you.
staying active a little bit.
That must help the brain, right? Because I'm sure when you're on those runs, you're focused on your breath and your pace and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I was on a
But
run
you,
today. It was a
but
tough one, but
yeah,
I got through it right before this call, and it sets you up for the day. When you run in the morning, it's like I'm like ready to go, right?
yeah,
I'm
because you're
ready
like you're all fired
to
up. Yeah,
day.
I'm the same way with
So,
cycling. Yeah, same
yeah,
thing.
so it's cool stuff.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Well, appreciate the time. If people want to connect with you, learn about Vidovo and either as a brand or as an influencer, how can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn. My name's Elijah Khasabo. Vidovo.com, so Vidovo.com, and I'm also.
Where'd the name come from, by the way?
What's funny? We just found it on a when we were looking at buying domains and figuring
Yeah,
out, we just found it, and
yeah.
the old logo was like a video.
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, oh, video, Vidovo, and we're like, it hasn't been used since like 2009 or 2013. I forgot what exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And we just thought it was great. It had a green color to it, so we redid the logo.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's Vidovo.
Cool. All right. So they can find you at Vidovo.com. They can get you on LinkedIn. I'm sure there's other socials that they can connect with you on too. Out of all the platforms you're on, what's your platform of choice? What do you like the most? Other than yours, of course.
Recently, do you mean like who do I like on?
No, like what platform you enjoy? TikTok experience, Instagram
Yeah, I would
experience,
say
YouTube.
I've been liking Instagram a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I also do love YouTube because I just love long form, listening
Yeah.
to
Oh,
podcasts,
cool.
educating myself. One thing about me, I'll always continue to learn. I think it's the most valuable asset is to be able to
Love that.
learn, listen to other people that have experienced what you want to go through.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I would say Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, that's really it.
You're in that space, so people can find you. So I appreciate it, man. Congratulations on the growth. I mean, even in our short time that we've gotten to know each other here, it's been instrumental to see just your mindset and how you've grown and the things you're doing and your focus and your drive. Again, I kick myself in the ass every time I talk to you. I'm like, shit, what the hell was I doing when I was 22 years old? Not exactly what Elijah's doing. So you, my friend, at a very young age, have the mindset of a successful entrepreneur who's driven, focused, and I think you're a great role model not only for your brothers, for even folks like me that are twice your age, but can learn a few things about staying focused, having those moments, and being open about what's good and bad, and having those moments where you shed a tear from time to time because you're so damn frustrated, and it's okay. It's okay to kind of go through those spaces. So I appreciate you sharing all that stuff, and it's been fantastic. It's been an honor, and we'll definitely do this again when you hit 2 million. 10
Oh,
million.
we're already on track to we passed that.
Did you pass 2 million?
Yeah,
Fantastic, man. Good for you.
I mean, this in the first 2 weeks we've collected a lot.
Holy smokes.
Most I've seen ever. I think we'll do double that number this year.
Okay, so when you're on the NASDAQ and you're ringing the bell because you went public, I just want you all that's watching this now to remember that I met him first. Okay, so he's my guy. He's my dude, and whatever I can do to help him out, make some introductions. But Elijah, for those of you that are watching this at this particular time, he has started to grow a fairly significant network, and he knows the importance of connecting with people. And I highly encourage you, if you're out there, if you're a brand that wants to activate content creators for whatever you're doing, you got to talk to Elijah. He'll set up. The platform's fantastic. If you're a content creator, you don't know how to make this work for you, reach out to him. He has the playbook. It's there and it's successful. So Elijah, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you on the PR Bunker podcast. Wish you all the success. I don't need to wish it for you because I know you're already on that trajectory because you're eating glass and you see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I appreciate you doing what you do, man. It's good work.
Appreciate it, Don. Thank you for having me.
No problem, brother.
Thanks for tuning in to the PR Bunker podcast, where we go beyond the headlines and into the trenches with founders, builders, and operators making real moves. This show is brought to you by the PR Bunker, a strategic communications agency helping mission-driven and impact-focused organizations cut through the noise and tell stories that matter. Want to learn more? Head to prbunker.com and subscribe to the Bunker Briefing, our monthly email newsletter packed with a 45-second read that's stacked with value. We're talking practical PR and communications insights, networking tips, and strategies to help you navigate the moments that matter. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. We've got more raw, real conversations on the way. So stay locked in. Until next time, keep building, stay resilient, and remember, momentum favors the bold.